Hi Libra, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I'm going to be doing your February 1st to the 15th, 2021 reading for you. Now, I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and also to subscribe to my channel. And if you would like to be notified whenever I upload new videos, and I upload all the time, just hit the bell notification button. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will be listed and linked in the description box below. Before we begin this reading and clear the energy space, once again, a reminder not to be scammed by anybody in the comment box below pretending to be me offering you a reading. I will not be soliciting you for any readings for anything, so do not be scammed. Okay, now with that said, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds, letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as you enter into this safe and loving space. Fantastic. Now let's let the bowls sing as we see what the tarot has to say. Libra, February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. 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 Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Ooh. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. And let's see, there we go. Let's see the chakra energy for this time. Libra, February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So we have here clarity, which is the third eye chakra, followed by inner strength, which is the sacral chakra, and then finally abundance, the root chakra. Then we're going to see how this correlates into the tarot. And these are going to be the areas in your chakra, the chakra energy, the areas within yourself during this time where you're going to meet a bit of resistance, where meditation is required, where just an awareness of self is going to be so absolutely bountiful to moving you forward. So the left-hand side here is your inner self. The middle is your heart, your emotional self. The right-hand side, the public arena, the public self. So we have the Knight of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Four of Swords, Eight of Wands, the King of Cups. So you start off with a Knight, a defender. You end with the King, the Master. So during this time, and while I was meditating before even starting the reading, and while I was shuffling the cards, there is just a sense of little irritations coming up, and they start to become bigger and bigger and bigger. It's kind of like once you see one, you see 1,000. It's kind of like it starts to wear at you during this time. And so here, there's a need to kind of pull back and really embrace your heart, embrace what you love, embrace what you want with life. And you're going to see yourself moving forward rather quickly towards an end goal, towards what it is that you desire, towards abundance. And this is going to be an interesting shift, because if you keep yourself focused on everything that you don't want, that will start coming at you more heavily. And if you keep yourself focused on what you do want, that's going to start to come in, not as quickly, because we don't see the positive as quickly as we see the negative. But there is going to be this kind of movement forward. Yeah, your heart, crowned by you, Libra. So that's it. You're represented by the Justice card. In the Major Arcana, I can feel a lot of stress also being held within the shoulder area, like neck, shoulder, even your jaw during this time. So just be very mindful of this. Also, clear boundaries are going to be very important, because the boundaries of your heart are definitely going to impact your public arena, your public self. You're walking away from something you once thought you would love. You have the repeat of the number 8, so you're taking things very seriously, maybe a little bit too seriously during this time. We do have Mercury retrograde that started on the 30th of January coming in during this time. So here you're walking away from something you once thought you would love, and there's a sense of needing to really embrace your truth. You have the Seven of Swords right here, and then you have the Knight of Swords. You are being a knight, you are being a defender of where it is that you want to be within your life. The Two of Swords in the public arena, you've always seen two ways forward. It's always like you do this or you do this. And during this time, what you once thought was kind of set in stone. You really didn't think that you could change it. You're going to start to see things opening up in ways that you hadn't anticipated. You're also going to start to see you opening up in ways that you hadn't anticipated. You are not your addictions, your failures, your doubts, your fears, your disabilities. You are going to start to see yourself redefining who it is that you are. And that's going to impact the public arena quite profoundly. You then have the Seven of Wands. The repeat of the number 7 here is the truth is going to be so important. It's kind of like the truth will set you free. That's definitely the case during this time. The truth of yourself, of where it is that you want to be, starts to set you free. Also, you're going to find that you need to speak your truth. And Spirit is saying, listen when other people speak their truths. It's going to be very easy to see when people are lying, but there are going to be some uncomfortable truths that come forward. So just be prepared for that. Then you have the Four of Cups. The repeat of the number 4 during this time is look at yourself, look at what it is that you need, take care of you, because it's going to be the first thing, you're going to be the first thing that you put on the back burner. It's like, oh, I'm just being too needy, too whiny. I just have to kind of like buck it up and keep going. No, there's a lot of sadness going on in the world right now. Tempers are worn thin. People are worn thin. And so this is a time where with the Queen of Wands, it's like looking at your passion, looking at what it is that you love, looking at who it is that you are, and saying, I'm worth more than this. I'm worth more than just simply surviving. I'm worth more than just scraping by. And that's why the chakra energy that you have for this time, the clarity, the inner strength, and the abundance is so important. So you have the third eye chakra. You have your third eye opening up. You're seeing things more clearly, more passionately, more powerfully, more intuitively in line with who it is that you are. You're opening up your eyes, you're opening up your soul, and you're seeing your truth. And as you do this, and as you look at what it is that you want, you might find that things that you thought, again, were set in stone, especially in the public arena, like I can move forward this way or that way, you're going to start to see that these ideas or ideals are being challenged. And you're going to start saying to yourself, why not? Why not open up this door? Why not move forward this way? Why not be this person? And that why not is going to lead you forward in a way that helps you break free, that helps you embrace your truth, that helps you look at things so much more openly, so much more honestly for yourself. And as the clarity comes in and as you start to see what it is that you desire, ooh, goodness, it's going to be a clarity that at times feels like it's being tricked with a little bit. It's like it's going to be hard to stand in that clarity, in that truth. There's going to be other things that come forward, other things that kind of, make you doubt yourself, make you question things. And that's where the inner strength comes in, because you feel frozen. And I mean, who doesn't feel frozen during like the past year that we've lived through, during this new year where we would have loved to see things change immediately, but of course, things take time. And what Spirit has been saying is I would really focus around the Virgo timeframe, August 23rd to September 22nd, for when things start to get back to normal. And that's just what Spirit is saying. So just be mindful of that. That's a nice goal to have. That's a nice place to be. And you can see that in videos, that I had done earlier, but it was in the beginning of everything, and I thought, oh no, it couldn't possibly last so long. So, it has. But here, the inner strength is this opening up of your strength, of your soul, of yourself, of what it is that you desire. This is your solar plexus guiding you. This is a sense of seeing this deeper understanding, seeing this deeper truth, and looking at yourself, looking at what it is that you want, looking at what it is that you desire from life, and coming out of your shell. There's a way that the world has kind of kept you boxed, has kept you overwhelmed, that has, made you feel like, I just can't be that. I've messed up too much. It's been too long. It's been too hard. I don't get to have what other people get to have. And what Divinity is saying right now is that's a bold-faced lie. You absolutely get to have beauty, prosperity, and bounty in your life. You're not defined by your failures, but you have to, and your addictions and angers and fears, but you have to make that conscious change to go into the body, to go into the self, to connect with the breath and say, I am being presence. So when my anger would usually come out, or when I'd go to other coping mechanisms to dull the frustration of this world, that's when I look at it and I stare at that storm and I say, you're not taking me down. It's kind of like Odysseus being tied to the mast of the ship, so that he could hear the sirens sing. That's what you're doing. You're being tied to the mast of the ship so that you can see the storm. You can see the truth, the greater knowledge that comes through weathering such hard, difficult, and impossible times. And it brings you to abundance. You're rooted in abundance. You're rooted in prosperity and in bounty and in brilliance and in wealth. And so as that abundance comes in, your world starts opening. Meaning as you start to see yourself as an abundant individual, as you stop seeing yourself as a person of lack, but as a person of promise, as a person of strength. And usually that comes with one win. One win. It doesn't have to be a big win. It can be a very small win, but count your wins. We have a tendency to count up our failures and say, look, and we have a list of them. Here it's count your wins, count your prosperity, count your abundance, count the little blessings that come in. And that's going to change the whole course of your existence. And we have here the Knight of Cups. We have love. We have honor. We have the sense of the heart being so important. And for you, Libra, your heart is so important. You're crowning your heart. You're making some changes. There's a great kind of exodus of what has hurt, what has overwhelmed, what doesn't fit anymore, and a great taking on of the knowledge that you need in your life. And again, a release of what you don't. And so here, as the Knight of Cups comes in, it's a sense of, this is what I love. This is what I do it for. This is who I am. And it might be a very small thing. I get up in the morning so that I can walk my dog. It can be a very, very small thing, just like that. Or it can be bigger things, more responsibilities, children, partners, parents, everybody who needs your attention. And you're looking at things and it's like, okay, I need to do this. I need to move forward in this truth. And what you're going to see now is that walking in love. And it doesn't mean that you have to love everybody. It's walking in respect for yourself, in respect for those around you, treating others, the golden rule, treat others as you would like to be treated. Here, that is going to be the kind of battle that you're fighting during this time, to have that love, to have that respect, to have that kindness come forward in your life, and to open up the doors, to, bring forward the truth. And what you're going to see here is that you're moving in these new opportunities. You're moving towards something more, and you have to during this time listen to your emotional self. Because a lot of times we sit there and we're like, okay, I have to be logical. I have to take all the emotion out of it and just be logical. Or we get so into the emotion that we let it rule us, and we try to be logical, and we try to, we also have our emotions come in, and it makes a big mess. Here, it's knowing that middle ground. It's saying, this is the logic. This is what needs to be done, right? This is, the things that have to be done. And this is the emotion. This is the hurt that's behind it. This is the love that's behind it. This is the fear that's behind it. I'm looking at both. And what I'm doing is, instead of saying, okay, I'm going to conquer either or, it's just breathing in the middle. Just taking some time to step back and just focus on your breath. You can put on really nice, soothing music if you like to. You can put on, birds singing, or you can go outside. If you live in a rather rural, cold place like I do, you might not want to go outside right now because it's below freezing. So here, you're going to find that focusing on your heart and focusing on what you want, it makes you a greater warrior. It makes you a warrior of your life and of your truth. And as you do this, you start to see everything that you've come through. It's not seeing all the lack, okay? Because that's very easy to see. It's like, well, I didn't have this, I didn't have that, or I have to struggle with this, or I have to struggle with that. It's starting to see everything that you've come through and that you've won with. So it's like, oh wow, I came through that battle. Oh wow, look at how things could have gone so differently, and I could have ended up in such a different place, or my family could have ended up in such a different place. And you start to look at it, and you start to see the little miracles that we overlook. We so easily overlook them. And you start to pay homage to yourself, to everything that you've been through, everything that you've overcome, everything that you've released in your life, and everything that you have built. In medieval times, the Four of Swords shows, in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, it shows, a coffin with four swords above it. Because in medieval times, when a lord or a knight would come back from battle, they would lay in their coffins, and they would think about all the ways that they shouldn't have come back from that battle. Life is a battle. Think about all the ways that your soul should have been crushed. You shouldn't have the faith in yourself to be able to get up in the morning and do what you need to do, to go after what you need to go after. You could let the grayness of the world kind of just wash over you like a blanket. Like there's no reason, there's no joy, there's no connection anymore. So why even bother? And it's like, no. There's brilliance, and there's bounty here. This is a battle. This is a war of individual. This is a war of, of embracing the power of self. So when you're looking at things and you're getting down and blue, and life just seems to be a bit tinged with gray, it's look at how, Spirit is saying here, look at how far you've come, and look how much you have endured, and where you stand, and who you are. Because the Eight of Wands, it's like, when things pick up, they pick up. You're going to start to see there's a change inside of you, and you are drawn towards that change. There's like a release that comes over you, and it's like, this is what I want. This is what I need. This is who I am. You start to free yourself here from the mistakes of the past, the hurts, the pains, the disappointments, the addictions, the anger, the fear, the sense of I'll never be good enough, the negativity that was spoken over you that seemed to have cursed your whole entire life. It's like, no, you're done. Because we talk about generational curses. We talk about the sorrow and the horrors that come into life, but we don't talk about the blessings that come through when a person has endured and when a person lives well. My grandma, helped raise me, right? And I knew her healthy and well till I was 8. From 8 to the age of 11, she was dying, and it was terribly traumatic. And I'm just now looking at how one person, who I knew for a relatively very short period of time, impacted my whole entire life and changed my whole entire destiny. Because she was in my life, and then because of the sorrow and the heartbreak of having her removed. And that is what also the Eight of Wands shows. The Eight of Wands shows the change that comes in that is completely out of our control. And we can see that with everything that's happening today. The change that is out of our control, that we don't have a handle on, that we can't stop even if we wanted to. But it's the way that we endure. It is the way that we move forward that's making us into kings. Here, Libra, The King of Cups is not saying, be mightier than thou, go after everything, show everybody how much of a success you are. The King of Cups is very, very quiet, very demure, very, very centered. The King of Cups is your inner strength. It's breaking out of that shell. And it's saying, this is what I love. This is who I am. This is what I desire for my life. And the only person who has any control over me, over my emotions, over my actions, is me. And it does feel at times like it's a lie. There's just so much going on and that the emotional control is taken away. But the stepping back and saying, no, I will not go down that rabbit hole. I will not start searching on the internet and searching on the internet and just going down and down and down and down and down till hopelessness is all I see, till fear is all I see. The King of Cups is centered. The King of Cups says, I rule only one person in this world. And as much as we would like to think that we rule others, I'm seeing with my nephew, he's not even 2, and he is such his own person. And you sit there and you're like, you will behave, but you can't force him to behave. He will still be his own person. If he wants to sit in his chair and scream, that is what he's going to do. And so here, if we can't control even the smallest of us, we're not going to be able to control the largest. We can through fear and manipulation, but that won't give us love or respect. What it is here is saying, this is what I want for my life. This is who I am. This is what I expect, and this is what I respect from me. And that is what I'm calling forward. And you're going to find that if you step back and you step into yourself, that becomes a powerful place to come from. And I know it sounds very absurd, but it's focusing on the breath. And I've always heard people say, focus on the breath, until very, very recently. I didn't really get what they meant. I just thought, okay, it's nice and calming and your mind can wander. But it's going into your breath. It's not necessarily your mind wandering. It's your mind focusing on the inhale, on the exhale, on the feel of your body, of the, centering of the self and the opening of your dreams. Because you'll find that as you focus on the breath and as you focus on yourself, as the door opens, you step through. And it's almost like you come out of a slumber when you open up your eyes and you step into a greater power and into a greater truth, into the sense of the heart. And that's what I do every time before these readings. I go into that meditative state, and it leads you down a very kind of calm but very opened path. And it leads you to a place here where justice comes into your heart, this discernment of what I need and what I want, not to be just to everybody else, but to be just to myself. Because Libra, you can be very caught up in the justice for everybody, the I have to save everyone. But the first person you have to save, the first person you have to be just to, is you. And you're cutting through a lot of doubts and fears, of angers and of upsets, of upheavals, and you're saying, but this is me. This is who I need to be. This is where I need to be within my life. This is what I desire as I walk forward. Justice comes in. And you're going to see yourself balancing the scales because you're leaving behind what no longer fits. It's like, it's not right. It's not going to be right. I don't want it. I don't need it. I can't have it. And you release. You release. The 8 of Cups is walking away from something you once thought you would love. And it's a wound mate. It's not even that you once thought you would love it. It's like, well, this is who I am. This is how I define myself. I'm broken. I can't be redeemed. I've done too much wrong. Here, I'm not perfect. And I just need to be perfect because then I'll be loved. Then I'll be respected. Then I'll have what I need and what I want from life. Here, it's walking away from that. It's saying, no, I'm done. I'm done living up to unrealistic expectations. I'm done looking at myself and finding myself wanting. I'm done, with the anger and with the pain and with the disappointment. And you once could have been in love, with the person that made you feel like $1 million and then just slowly started to erode that. Once you fell in love with them, once you really trusted them, then they went from telling you you were beautiful, you were, so safe and so cherished to really you're wearing that, really you're eating that. Oh, you're seeing those people, I don't really like your friends. Those type of things. And now you're walking away because even if you had left that person, their voice still creeps into your mind. It still shatters your confidence. And then there's also a shame that comes in of letting somebody like that into your life and not seeing it in the very beginning and not stopping it. And so here with the 8 of Cups, it's not only, the walking away from what we don't want anymore. It's a putting an end, and it's seeing emotionally what's scarring us, what's hurting us. And it doesn't have to be a partner whose voice comes into your head. It can be a parent who you were just never good enough for them. They wanted a boy and they got a girl, or they wanted a girl and they got a boy. They wanted you to be different. And you were always compared to somebody who you could never live up to their expectations of. You could never be another person because you were simply you. People do this all the time. And it wears away at our confidence. It wears away at ourselves. You're walking away. And you're saying, I'm not living in that pain bubble anymore. I'm not living in that place of hurt and sorrow and disappointment and the constant war. I'm respecting the battles I've been through, but I'm not living in them. I can't live in endless nightmare. And it brings you to taking up your knowledge, taking up your understanding, and you're walking away. You're walking away, leaving some things behind because you just don't need them. Lessons have been learned, absolutely. You're not the same person you once were. And there's a bit of a mourning in that. There's a bit of a, well, I liked who I was, and now who am I type of deal. But what it has made you is it's made you maybe a bit cynical. Yes, you could say that, until the healing has really come forward. But it's made you wiser. It's made you able to look at yourself and see the value within you that wasn't seen before. Because it was really truly held onto and really truly there, it wouldn't have been eroded. And yes, this person could have been a master manipulator, but they were also talking to wounds that you had had that built within you from being bullied at school, from being bullied by parents, by teachers, by whomever. And now you're sitting there, you're gathering up your knowledge, and you're saying, I'm moving on. Your heart is being a bit sneaky. It's saying, I'm leaving behind what I can't grow from anymore. And you might find yourself really kind of holding your cards close to your chest. You're going to see what you need, what you want. You're going to move forward in the way that brings you your blessings and what you desire. And you're not going to be manipulated by others anymore. And even when you are, just a little bit, like you see it and you're like, oh, I see what you're doing there. I see it. Because I've been through battles like this before. I've met people like you. I've been down that road. And now I'm being just to myself. Instead of saying, I'll sacrifice to make you happy, I'm saying, this is me. This is who I need to be. And you have the Knight of Swords. You're cutting through doubts and fears. You are a knight. You are a defender of your heart, of where your heart needs to be, of what your soul desires, of what you're calling forward within your life. And this is you slaying the dragons. This is you slaying what has hoarded away your abundant blessings. What has made you doubt yourself and fear yourself and look at yourself and feel inferior. And it moves you then to the Two of Swords, to the world opening up, to you thinking, but there could only have been two ways. Like there could only be two ways forward. And how could I possibly? And when I'm seeing the Two of Swords now, I keep on thinking of my mom. When my mom was growing up, she always says, you could be a nurse or you could be a teacher, right? And my grandma was a nurse. And my grandma was so proud of being a nurse. And she desperately wanted my mom to be a nurse. And my mom was like, listen, if people are throwing up, I'll be throwing up right there with them. I can't do this. So she studied to be a teacher. And she hated it. She hated it because they were like, just pass them on. You can only leave back a kid once. And she said this, and she was like, it would break your heart because you knew those children were just going to fail. And so here, she looked at those worlds and she said no. And she wound up getting a job in school when she was training to be a teacher in the food service, like in the cafeteria. And they hired her when she decided to leave teaching. And then she kind of worked her way up there. And then she got sexually harassed. Her boss said to her, either you sleep with me or you're fired. And she said, are you kidding me? I'm not sleeping with you. And so he said, you're fired. So she went to HR and she complained. And they said, well, of course you're going to complain. He just fired you. And she was like, man, this stinks. And she went and she actually was the first person, in her family to go to college. And then the first person to go on and get her master's. And she got her master's in business. And here, this is what it's showing me. And I know that was a long story, but I'm very proud of that story for her. And so here, there is this sense of this roundabout way of doors slamming in your face, one after the other. And you're looking at things and being like, are you kidding me? Like, is this actually happening? Like, this seems like a bad story. And then you start to find the place that you need to be. You start to find, things in your life that start just lining up like dominoes. And things start falling into place. You start falling into place. And that's what's going to happen here with the Two of Swords. You always thought that there were two ways forward. You always thought that it was going to be A or it was going to be B. And now you're starting to see, well, why not C? Well, why can't I do this? And why can't I push forward this way? And why can't I have this being a part of my life? And so the world starts to open to you in a way that you hadn't imagined. And it really does come for a lot of you Libras in that sense of, what the heck just happened here? Like, why did the door get slammed in my face? Why can't I move forward the way that I want to? What is going on? And you're going to find yourself then afterwards, like looking back at things. And it could be months later, it could be years later, because that definitely happens, where you're like, I would not be here if it wasn't for there. I mean, I remember when I was homeless. I remember when I was working jobs just to keep going, that were terrible, and crying myself to sleep every single night. And now I look at where divinity has put me. And I'm like, wow, if not for your grace, if not for all that hell, there wouldn't be beauty. And so here, that is what Spirit is saying. And I know this isn't a light, fluffy reading, and it actually makes me feel like crying, because it has been so hard, and it has been so overwhelming, and it hasn't been fair. It just hasn't been. But there is safety here. There is beauty here. There is love here. And it's more profound than you will ever know if you step into it. Like, if you open up your heart to it, to know that you are safe and loved and cherished, that divinity courses through your veins, and that there is this beautiful power within you, and that you're not your past mistakes. And that if you see that you're rooted in abundance, and you break out of the frozen shell of the grayness of the world, you start moving forward in your peace and in your prosperity. And it leads you to the Seven of Wands. It's like, no, I'm not going to be fighting, battles that aren't mine. I'm not going to be stooping down to everybody else's, petty differences, angers, hurts and pains. I rise up. I rise in my truth. I rise in my blessings. I rise in my power. I rise in my determination. And it brings you, because you're going to want to. During this time, you're going to want to sit there and say, never again will I be taken advantage of. So you're going to think fighting every fight is the way. But what you're going to see here is that saying, no, the fighting doesn't work. It's like Mother Teresa said, if you have a march towards, what does it say? Towards peace, I will come. But if you have a march against violence, against war, I will not be there. So here, it's like, it's knowing that the words matter. It's knowing that the peace matters. It's knowing that the prosperity matters. And so here, you're going to look at things and saying, I'm not at war anymore. I am holding to the center of myself. And yes, at times, I'll find that I fight. But at those times where it feels like I have to fight, those are the times where the prosperity kind of falls away. But when you stand in your truth, and you stand in your blessing, and you say, this is me, and these are the morals that I hold to. This is the code of ethics that I hold to. And when people come against that, yes, you stand firm in your voice, and you say, no, you will not pass. But you don't fight every battle, because it will just drain you. It leads you here, Libra, to the Four of Cups. It leads you here to a blessing from divinity that doesn't look like a blessing. It just doesn't. It's disguised. It's hidden. You're looking one way and you're saying, this is what a blessing looks like. I'm supposed to be driving this car. I'm supposed to be living in this neighborhood, in this house. This is what a blessing looks like. And you're still kind of trudging along in your life. Here, the blessing comes unexpectedly. It doesn't come in the way that you think it should or you think it would. But it is beautiful nonetheless. It is powerful nonetheless. It is brilliance within you. And it moves you to the Queen of Wands. It moves you to passion, to power, to brilliance, to prosperity, to fire, to truth. And you start to ignite that fire within your hands. And here, the Queen of Wands, it's like there's so much sorrow that, yes, you're walking through. But once you get there, it's like you are illuminated with the fire of your truth. You are illuminated by your passion, by your joy, by your coming together, by this embrace of your world. And there is nothing and no one that will stop you. This is fire sign energy, right? Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. This is the This is the burning away of doubts and of fears. This is the embrace of the heart. This is the passion of the soul. This is the glory of the self coming. And this is the magic within your own hands. You're not afraid to roll up your sleeves. You're not afraid for the hard work at all. But there is the fear of never getting there. But you're crowned by a king and a queen. You're crowned by monarchy. You're rooted by monarchy and knights and a defender, which is you, of your truth, of your peace, of your centering, and of your prosperity. So let's go deeper. Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. And let's see the energies that you are to be mindful of during this time. Libra, February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. Ooh, goodness. And show me clearly. This one. Okay. Yeah, okay. These four. So we have here strength. This is Libra. This is Leo energy, which is July 23rd to August 22nd. This is a person who believes in brute force strength. Might equals right. So be very, very mindful of that. It's not necessarily Leo energy that you have to be mindful. This is the energy of people in general. They are embracing that energy. Now, the full moon that just happened, okay, is a Leo full moon. So you could see even that energy kind of rising up inside of you. Might equals right. If I, just go after it, if my ego says that I want it and I want it, that's my truth, that's my power, that's my passion. And you're going to find that there's a shift that's going on here where you have to look at more deeply. It's like, what do I love? What do I need? Like, where do I need to be? It's not how do others perceive me, because you have no control over that. Though we would love to, wouldn't we? But it's how do I perceive me? And where do I need to be? Not for the fact that I can get there, but for a peace, for a calm, for a harmony within myself. And then it brings you to the Queen of Cups. Now, this is energy that seems very healing, but can also be very emotionally manipulative. This is a person who, will sit there and kind of twist what you say, twist what you do, and you're going to be looking at things and kind of feeling guilty. And if you start feeling guilty around certain people, and you don't have any right to be, like if you know you have a right to feel guilty, that's one thing. But if you're sitting there and you're like, I don't know why I feel guilty around them, I don't know why I feel drained around them, but you just do. It's kind of like step back, and see what it is, and see what drama it is that they're bringing forward, because they're bringing the drama forward. They could be doing it very subtly, very quietly, very manipulatively, but they're bringing the drama forward. Then we have here the Queen of Pentacles, which is Earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. Queen of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. This is an energy here of a person whose vibration just doesn't mesh with yours. You see success one way, they see success a different way. And it doesn't mean that either one of you are right or wrong, but you can feel guilty. Libra, you have a tendency to feel guilty because you just want to keep things balanced and harmonized and calm. And there's so much emotion here that can make you feel just completely overwhelmed. So if you have something or someone that makes you feel guilty about things that like your energy just doesn't jive with, and you're thinking, wow, I should really give them another chance. There is no reason why I shouldn't, feel comfortable around this person, or why I shouldn't want this person to succeed. It's like, no, you can just step back and say, good luck to you, but I don't want this energy. I don't want this in my life right now. Yeah, that's going to be the best way to do it. I see this more as an outside force, more as a kind of media figure, but it can be, if it is people within your own circle, just be very mindful of how you handle them. You just might need to kind of stay in separate rooms, like just a bit of distance. And then you have the Lovers, which is Gemini energy, May 21st to June 20th. This is a person who, again, they don't have to be Geminis, but they're going to be rather two-faced, and they're going to be really absorbed in their own pleasure. This is what gives me joy. This is what I want from life. This is what I need. And they're not going to really see or care about anything else during this time. And they can really use words to manipulate situations. So just be mindful about that. You have here the Ace of Cups right over the Knight of Cups. So that's a really good sign. You have the Five of Pentacles. That's definitely what I was seeing before with the pauper mentality that comes through. Just this sadness of like, how much longer am I going to be outside of everything that I want, of everything that I desire? Then you have the Knight of Wands, fire sign energy, Aries, Leo, Sagittarius. You have the Queen of Swords. So crowning you in the major arcana is now you represented in the minor arcana as a queen. So that's brilliant. We have here then the Three of Pentacles. Your hard work does pay off. The Two of Wands, new beginnings starting to come your way. New horizons coming forward. The Wheel of Fortune, everything is changing. The Four of Wands, celebration, success, bounty, and the nightmares come forward with the Nine of Wands. It's kind of like you almost don't want to enjoy things too much because you're afraid that it will be taken away. You're afraid the next shoe will drop. Here, we have the Ace of Cups. The Ace of Cups is God's source spirit, however you see the divine, the universe, handing healing, beautiful love, handing the sense of harmony, the sense of love, the sense of coming together, the sense of passion, the sense of beauty, this sense of truth. And it's washing over you. And it's going to really have you looking at things in a very different light, in a very different way of being, calling forward more sacred power, calling forward being a defender of what your heart wants, of what your soul needs. There's something that you're craving during this time. It's kind of like craving cupcakes, okay? And you just keep on thinking of cupcakes and cupcakes, and until you have a cupcake, that's what you're going to keep on thinking about. And I don't mean to, put that in your mind, but there's something here that it's just like you need to address within your heart. There's something that your heart is looking for. And it's like until you think about it or until you bring it forward and you let it become a part of you, you'll constantly be craving it. And so here, there is something that is washing away the blockage, the doubt, the fear, the anger that has held you back from taking in that passion, that power, and that brilliance. And as it washes away, it can bring forward tears. It can bring forward more doubt. It's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe. And you'll start bringing things up from the past. And it's like, no, the past is done. You've walked that road. What is there an old Native American saying? That if you walk forward, you walk towards light. If you walk backwards, you walk towards darkness and you walk towards chaos. So here, it's having these waters come forward and it's moving away from walking backwards, because didn't Eckhart Tolle, and I believe that's how you say his name, I always mangle it, say that the past is living in a pain bubble. And didn't he say that the future is living in delusion? Because we don't know what the future will be. And we don't know, and the past, what we bring up is only the pain that keeps on making our world smaller and smaller. And so here, you're being freed from that. You're looking at that. And it can be in a very small way. It can be for a moment. But if you keep on to and you hold on to that moment of clarity, it starts to build and build and build within your life, within your soul, within yourself. And then we have the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is the worry, the doubt, the fear, the poverty. The thinking, I can never move forward from this. I will always be a pauper. I will always have to struggle. I will always be forgotten. And the Eight of Wands says whatever you think about, starts to come in. That change starts to move you forward. So here with the Eight of Wands, you're going to start to see yourself, really moving quickly in the direction of your mind, in the direction that your passion is being channeled towards. So if it's in a negative spot, if it's of poverty, it starts to bring forward more despair. But if it's of look how much I've overcome. Look how far I've come. Look at my success. Look at my bounty. That starts to come forward. Because you're going to be walking through that door and saying, no more. No more am I a victim. Now I am a victor. Now I am a person of means and wealth and success. Now it doesn't mean, multi-million dollars. It means comfort and just contentment within life. Because if we are content within our lives, if we are happy within our souls, well, that just opens up the world, doesn't it? And so many people who have the flashiest cars and the biggest homes can never have that contentment, never have that contentment. And then we have the Knight of Wands. As you embrace your heart, and as you say, I rule only my heart, the Knight of Wands is that passionate defender of what you're passionate about, of what you love, of what, gives you the reason for getting out of bed in the morning. And that's what you're protecting as you dive deeper into it, by being the king of your heart, by ruling only yourself. And it moves you to being the Queen of Swords, as you embrace the very essence of yourself. And as you move away from what you no longer want, the Queen of Swords is the warrior queen. And it's like, I'm done, I'm out. I'm not holding on to this nonsense anymore. I am moving forward in a way that's just me. It's not anybody else. It is me. And that opens up the doors for you. That moves you in a passion, in a fire, in an existence that has you seeing what you've created. Yes, others have helped you along the way. Don't let them take credit for it, though. Sit there, or don't give them the credit for it. Like, oh, I couldn't have done this without them. It is also the power that is you. And you are going to see yourself opening up those doors, moving forward. There is that beautiful warrior mentality to you during this time. It's like, no, this is what I fight for. This is my truth. This is my blessing. This is who I am. I've come so far. I've come so far, and I'm leaving behind what only weighs me down. And it has the repeat of the number 3 here. So you are blessed most deeply by divinity during this time, and your heart is blessed. And it has you seeing new horizons opening up to you as you are that warrior. Okay, as you are the Knight of Swords, as you are the warrior of what you want, of slaying dragons, of looking at your future. Things start opening in a way that you hadn't thought. It's like, oh wow, I can move forward that way. Or oh wow, I can be that person. And oh wow, that can be my truth. And that door isn't barred, locked, and like cemented over anymore. I can see myself walking through it, and you do. It brings you to the Wheel of Fortune. It brings you to an absolute change. Absolute change. Okay? So the Wheel of Fortune comes in, and it is a change of seasons. It is the beauty within each season that you are going through. It is sitting there. Yeah, it is. Spirit is saying, see the beauty within the season that you are in. Even if it's only that you will be able to see the beauty later on. And I know that sounds confusing, but what Spirit is saying is that you are moving forward to a place that brings you greater power and greater truth than what you had realized. And if you're still walking that road right now, you might not be able to see it right away, but you will be able to see it, and it will redefine so much. The Wheel of Fortune is the fact that you feel like you're on a roller coaster ride, as you learn what battles to fight, and as you stand in your truth, and as you start to see doors open or paths come your way that you never thought could be yours. And so you start to see that. You start to see that power. You start to redefine yourself. Okay? When I was little, I always thought I was worthless. Always. Up till, relatively recently in my life. I was a bit blind. I was a bit deaf. I used to be bullied terribly, not by students, but by teachers. And it was sad. And I carried that with me for so long. I was also highly dyslexic. So, people would get so frustrated with me. And I always took that onto myself. And I always thought, you're just never going to be good enough. You're just never going to measure up. I went to college. I was told I was never going to go to college. I went on scholarship. And I was terrified every single day that they would realize they made a mistake. That they let the stupid kid in. And they should have let the smart kid in. That's what I'm seeing here with the Wheel of Fortune. It's like you're thinking your fortune is one way. You're thinking you're one way. And divinity is putting you through these tests, and these tests. Okay? And you're going to start to see that who you thought you were is not who you actually are. That there is power and grace and beauty to you. and that each season that you have gone through has shaped, honed, and defined you in a way that is extraordinary. It's an end of a cycle. It's a release of pain. And it brings you to prosperity and success. The Four of Wands over the Four of Cups. Divinity is handing you a gift that you don't see as a gift. When I was going through all of this, I didn't see it as a gift at all. I thought I was the most unlikely, unworthy, unlucky person ever. Then, financial troubles, homelessness, this, that, just piled on, piled on, piled on. And then I found my calling. I found my truth. I found me. And that's what divinity is saying here. There is beauty in finding you. There is beauty in being you. And the Four of Wands is celebration and success. It is opening up that door. It is saying, this is who I am. This is who I was born to be. It took me a while to see it, because we don't honor everything in people. We honor certain traits. We say, if you are like this, then you will be praised. But if you are like this, you will be punished. And here with the Four of Wands, it's starting to celebrate yourself, starting to see that passion, that beauty, that power, that brilliance, starting to move you forward. And it is a game-changing time. This leads to new job opportunities because you're redefining yourself. You're no longer going to be guided by the same wound mates that you find. And we find them, I heard about wound mates first with relationships, and that makes sense. We find people who perpetuates our wounds. And I was meditating on that concept. And I realized we not only find people, partners, we find friends, we find work, okay? We find careers that perpetuate those wounds. And here, it's like no more. I am moving forward in power and grace and purpose and in me. I am opening up the door. And I am never walking backwards. And it has you facing nightmares, because your nightmares want to keep you from the Queen of Wands, want to keep you from the prosperity and the success. And it's like, hell no. Absolutely not. I walk through. I walk through this door. I face these monsters. I see the God's head within me. I see this passion. I see this power. And I embrace it. The Nine of Wands is the fear that you'll never be able to leave. It is the fear that what everybody else said was going to be true. And it's being brought to your knees by the rest of the world. But it's rising because of your truth, because of your power, because you block out them and you focus on you. Let's see what your spirit animal message is. Libra, February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. February 1st to the 15th, 2021, Libra. Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. Fantastic. We have here the whale spirit. Trust the great mystery. That's it. Trust that, yes, you don't know the answers to everything. And what's more important, you're not supposed to. But trust in the great mystery, that there is a plan, and that you are moving forward towards something more. Trust the mystery. Trust the current. Trust. Trust that you're not a mistake, and you're not irredeemable. Then we have the peacock spirit. Let it shine. Let your passion, let your heart, let your truth shine. Do not let it be diminished, because it brings you to the dolphin spirit. This and that are true. You're going to find that there are a multitude of truths in life, a multitude of power. As you embrace your peace, you embrace those truths, and you find that you will not be stopped. Your subconscious spirit animal message is the groundhog spirit. Time to let go. It's time to let go of the past. It's time to let go of the pain and the hurt and the fear. It just is. Because it can eat us up inside. It can eat the whole world. It really can. your subconscious person message is the Freyalt. This is temperance. This is the beauty and the knowledge of the ether. This is the power of the universal consciousness. This is embracing the wisdom of the heart, the wisdom of the world, the opening of your truth. It's the happiness, it's the rainbow that's coming. It's the blessing that's coming in. It brings you then to your subconscious chakra message, which is psychic development, which is your third eye opening, which is you being guided by your angels in a way that you never expected, but that is profound. Your subconscious person message, not person message, but your subconscious tarot message is the Three of Swords. It's the heartbreak, it's the pain, and it comes through loud and clear. It is a part of you during this time. Just all the ways that you feel overwhelmed and you feel like you've lost your voice and that things can't be, and the hurt that has defined you for too long. And you release, and it could be, letting out a good scream, screaming into your pillow, having a good cry in the shower, or just having a good cry, releasing the pain, going for a walk and saying, you know what, I'm just not going to think of anything. And the pain that has defined you, you look at it, you name it, and you don't let it have that control anymore, because you take it back. You take it back, and you say, I will not be defined by hurt and despair any longer. It's hard to take it back. We fall into ruts and routines and doubts and fears, but you take back your power. And it moves you to go deeper to the Seven of Swords. You have that at the heart of you here. You're gathering up all you need, all you want. People might see it as being a bit of a thief. Doesn't matter. They don't have to understand, only you do. And you move forward then in truth and knowledge, in grace and in power. All right, Libra. That was heavier than I thought it was going to be. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you and always protect you. I am sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of your positive energy as you break free. And as the pain and the hurt and the grayness that has defined things for too long starts to be replaced by light, by beauty, and by peace. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Libra.